everyone, my name is Mitz, and here back with Phoenix Wright Conflict of Interest. So, we're now going to be nailing down Mark Waters for his involvement into this crime, and we'll do that starting with his testimony, and trying to prove that he's Sir Galante. Use your face. No, my face is very much wide open. I'm an open book. My face is not made of books, though. Wait, you stop bickering in this already. Alright, sorry, sir. Waters, please don't disappoint me. This is it, Maya. Everything ends here. Indeed it does. Almost. Maya? The real Sir Galante. Hey man, I'm just a detective, alright? Are you though? Are you some police officer though? What exactly was your role in the investigation? I was the lead guy on it. Lead detective, to be more precise. Lead detective, huh? How much authority would that give him at the crime scene? I wasn't around. Pretty much all of it. So you weren't just a detective, you were the lead detective! Yeah, whatever, that doesn't make any difference. It's very important. As a lead detective, you had more than enough opportunity to cover up for your crimes. Detective, please amend your testimony. Whatever. Yeah, I was the lead detective, so what? Okay, pressing everything, just be sure. You were in a rather convenient position. Yeah, so you think so? As lead detective, you'd have access to all the evidence and information regarding the case. You could manipulate it to your advantage. You also had the authority to pull it off. Do you have anything to prove that something like that took place? Well, no. Then go back and try again. You heard him. This alone won't be enough to bring him down. At least it's a step in the right direction. There were lots of people who knew about Sir Galante. Yeah, because of a press, like literally a leak to the press. How many is lots? Everybody working the case with me. The entire task force, pretty much. All those people had access to the information? Yeah, all of them. The way Sir Galante has been changing his modus operandi, one would assume that he also has access to police information. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not the only one that was true about. Detective, would you mind updating your testimony with this information? Sure thing, Your Honor. His modus operandi changed a lot, but we don't know how much it changed. The task force are the only ones who knew about Sir Galante. The only ones? No, that's wrong. How many people were working the investigation with you? There was a small core group of about 10 people. We'd have others come in to help if we needed it. Only 10 people working a case this big? The city has been giving us the resources we need. Plus, most of the people weren't willing to take a job. Why not? Fear can be a powerful thing. That makes sense. I wouldn't want a large armored man to be mad at me either. Did anybody outside the task force have access to case details? You would need to be on a police force or have permission from somebody on it. Other than that, no. Nobody? Nobody at all. Hey, you heard me, I said nobody! The entire police department had the independence to know about the case. Yeah, and you know what else? By your logic, it could have been any one of them. Excuse me? That's right, that's the kind of crazy logic you're trying to use on me. You're the guy who said that just because I knew about Sir Galante, I'm him. Well, a whole bunch of people knew, so you can forget that. There's a difference between knowing confidential information and knowing who the killer was before it was proven. I've been chasing this guy for years, I can recognize his work, whether or not that stupid mark has been found. That's your explanation for knowing who the killer was? Yeah, I got mad detective skills, man. I'm like a real-life Sherlock Holmes. Didn't Bonnie Williamson tell you that you're lazy? Doesn't take a genius to say that similarities and murders involving 4-foot-long swords. But we didn't even know there was a sword involved. The only thing we had going on was just the way the victim died, and like, honestly, any crime can happen that if like literally, you know, they really hate the victim. Yeah, that's what. Hey! All the murders were done with a sword? Or at least a large blade weapon? If that's the case, wouldn't that place more suspicion on Waters? The murder weapon here was originally thought to be a knife. Something like that would point away from it to be Galante. Well, that's right! Detective, what do you have to say about this? Well, the witness, Miss Keyes, crime scene, found a knife. Bad detective skills indeed. Besides, we've been doing just fine in the investigation. I call bullshit. That doesn't sound right. You've been searching for 3 years and still haven't found him. You're getting kinda close, though. Kinda. 3 years and kinda is the best you can do? I wonder what that is. Well, Because he's incompetent. What? No way! Better than the alternative, where Wright accuses you of sabotaging the investigation from within. Yeah, I'm stupid. What was that? I said I'm incompetent, okay? Well, now we have a record the witness is incompetent, I think we continue. Did that really just happen? Yes, it did. Milk it. Before Parker came along, we had tons of murder suspects. How many suspects were there? I don't know, man. A lot? Can I name a few of them? I can't do that. That's confidential. Implying that he's never told me confidential stuff before. Aren't you just a bit disturbed that after wait, why was the text green? Aren't you just a bit disturbed that after 3 years, your list of suspects has only been narrowed down to a lot? Well, I guess it sounds kind of bad. Of course it sounds bad. After 3 years, you expect results. A lot of potential suspects isn't results. That's not the point. The point is that there were already some suspicious people. I definitely wasn't one of them. When we proved that you were there, I had some inkling to microevaluate the crime. I suppose you're right that you weren't originally a suspect, but you are now. Whether or not you want to admit it, you are currently a suspect. That's why you're here right now, testifying. Hey man, you're being totally uncool right now. Totally untubular. Oh god, I'm getting reminded of Virgil now. God, I love that voice. You know what else is uncool? Murder. You can't escape this, Waters. Well, murder does mean, like, you know, you kill, like, you know, a living, you know, breathing human who has, like, you know, body heat, and when you kill someone, like, he gets evaporated, so, definitely. Well, it is cool, technically. I know you're Sir Galante, and I'm going to prove it. I was a lead detective, so what? Oh, that's the very beginning, okay, so we need to present some stuff. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is literally the Galante case files. Let's go through that right now. Okay, test for the only ones who knew about Sir Galante. That doesn't seem right. Let's see the research. Okay, so page 1. Little evidence covered in no suspects based on stains originally withheld from public and passed up separate cases. Wear knight armor. Victims generally killed with a large blade weapon after each crime. Just the group. I mean, the whole press, like, I guess, release is the only one that was brought up, but... That actually is the thing, because the task force are the only ones who knew about Sir Galante. The fact that Cody knows about it, I'm pretty sure is the big thing, but, you know, just to be sure. Objection! Waters, why would you lie about something so obvious? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, then you clearly haven't been paying attention. The task force were far from being the only ones to know about Sir Galante. The fact that this exists is proof enough of that. What is this? It's a poster. It was made by the witness, Cody Hackins. As we all know, he's not a police officer. So, how did he know about Sir Galante? Because his existence had been leaked to the public. By you, Waters. Objection. Don't go accusing him of that. There's nothing to suggest that. Hey, I thought I told you to keep that a secret. You told me that you would... You know, I don't have, like, the dice in hand, but this works. That's a bit more, not dice sounding, but it's still something. It's great. Just that's the sound of a prove my own case, not instead of anger and annoyance. Oh crap. That was you? It might have been. Waters, innocent or guilty, things are not looking good for your future right now. Don't give me that look. That proves that. Yeah, I was the lead detective, so what? The only ones who know about Sir Galante, but you're allowed to commit any one of them. We've been doing just fine in the investigation. the thing is there's literally no evidence. Oh, that's wrong? Well, we're doing fine in the investigation, but literally I'm going through this. There are currently no known suspects. There are little elements to discovered. Okay. Not the right point to make them? Proven an idiot. I thought we just proved that that Mark Waters was incompetent. I'm not the idiot here. I was the lead detective, so what? Task force the only ones who know about Sir Galante. Yeah, so we present that, so we need more and more to add on to it. I could have been any one of them. You've been doing just fine in the investigation. Before Kirk, we had a ton of potential suspects. It definitely wasn't one of them. It's more of a case of, like, how exactly show off more about this. Task force mayor logic could have been any one of them. You've been doing just fine investigation. If it's literally not the... If presenting the Galante case file is not the thing here, then what is? Because I doubt it's this, because literally, yeah. The case file is not the thing, then. Sword, a strange device, blackmail letter, broken gun, attorney's badge. Actually, we still haven't got a thing of like what a strange device was. That's weird. Really weird. Like a data toss report. Shows I'm definitely not Wayne Parker outside, so I'm doing just fine in the investigation, but your logic could have been any one of them. Task Force is the only ones who knew about Mr. Galante. I was the detective, so what? I mean, we could present the hit list of there being like that, but like, doesn't show anything about that. There's no clear reason to present that anywhere on these statements so far. Task Force is the only ones who knew Mr. Galante. But it could have been any one of them. Been doing just fine investigation. Our parking building, we had tons of potential suspects. Definitely wasn't one of them. I think I just definitely need to like look through them more, just to be sure. If not, then I'll be a bit lost. Okay, so I looked up a guide for this one, and I was on the right track. I had to look this up because I definitely was on the right track with the Galante case file, but it's besides me doing just fine in the investigation, you'd think it'd be there, but no, it's the next statement over, because we had a ton of potential suspects. That's not right either. Does this say in the book? They're currently no known suspects. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that's my fault too, actually. That's my fault too, actually. I just got lost in that. That's my fault. You're lying again. No, I'm not. It's all in here. That's a lot of paper. Here, Your Honor, let me make it easier for you. If we had to know what statement that page goes on, that is page 2. Just to be sure. The part I'm interested in is on this page, page 2. It says right here that you have no suspects in the case. No suspects? Just Waters, you lied to us! Why would you do that? People do strange things when they're nervous, don't they, Waters? You had to somehow avoid the fact that there are currently only 2 people suspected to be Galante, and you are one of them. Thankfully, all you managed to do was make yourself look even more suspicious. That was a rather pointless lie to make, Waters. Huh? If you wanted to keep that little bit confidential, you could have just said so. Huh? That's what you were doing, right? Trying to keep top secret information from getting out? Yeah, that's it. Almost had him. Let's take a look at everything we uncovered. Okay, so I just got lost a bit on my part. Again. So far, like, this part of the case is a bit meh. My spirits are going up. First of all, Waters had access to all the information and evidence from the investigation. He was in a better position than anyone else to make the things in his own favor. That's not cool. The murder's not cool, bro. You can't accuse me just because I'm a detective. But wait, there's more. If Sir Galante ever showed signs of knowing the police were onto him, it would become clear that he had access to police information. So he arranged for everything to go public. That was an accident. It was no accident, you know it. With all the case details of public knowledge, the list of possible suspects exploded. Sir Galante could now be literally anyone in the city. Not to mention all the confusion caused by the people imitating their superhero idol. So he did draw attention away from himself? Exactly. By leaking the case details, he destroyed the police's chance of ever finding the real killer. Seriously, man, just why would I do any of that? Slay the evil? That's not my thing. I'm not some lunatic with a god complex. There's no reason for me to go around killing mobsters in the middle of the night. Sorry, Waters, but you aren't getting off that easily. I got proof that you had a very solid motive for becoming Sir Galante. Yeah, you already know what it is. We told you about it, too. Alright, it's time to put the final nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Waters' motive was... hi there, Mr. Hitlist. Remember we talked about yesterday, Waters? You have a history with the Rivales family. Hey, what? I almost wish the witness was motivated by nothing other than bloodlust. The real story is much more tragic. 9 years ago, your wife, Sandra, was murdered by an assassin hired by Micro Rivales. You weren't able to live with yourself after that. You need some way to continue her legacy. Knowing that she had risked and lost everything fighting the mob, you chose to avenge her the same way. By bringing her down the entire Rivales family single-handedly. No, wait! No waiting! Your 3-year reign of terror ends here, Galante. I'm not gonna sit and wait while you corrupt everything that our justice system stands for. Your victims may have been criminals, but they were still people. Taking their lives makes you no better than them. Detective, you didn't... wouldn't. No, stop! You're no superhero, you're nothing but a common killer. In fact, you're a disgrace to everything that your wife stood for. Well, Waters, what do you think about that? You wanna know what I think, man? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I think, man. I think that this is no good. Okay. You know what? This deal's over. I'm sorry, I can't let you do that. There are no courts on Earth for men like him. It appears this trial has come to an end. Sir Galante's 3-year killing spree is over. Please, everybody. Your Honor, I didn't do it. Shames me to know that one of the city's detectives would resort to mass murder. Bailiff, please escort him out. Yes, Your Honor. Boss, you know I didn't do it. If there are no further objections, I will let the jury decide its verdict. Very well.
Objection.
Okay. No, Your Honor, stop! You can't convict him! So what do you have? The defense already proven that he wasn't the scene of the crime, and that he had a good reason to want the victim dead, as well. My client is innocent, prosecutor. Yes, that's all that matters to you, isn't it? It's my job! I'm your client innocent. What, do you want me to go and say, let me go against my job and all that? So what? So your job is just, not to convict, like, you know, who you think a criminal is? Okay. I should expect as much from you, defense attorney. And what? And besides, even, like, at this point, even if Mark Waters definitely isn't the killer, then literally just... Are you going to say that everything you point to was, like, worthless? Are you literally going with that? Okay. All you care about is getting your client off the hook. Men like that detectives spend their lives making the city safe for scumbags like you. This how you repay him? Defending us isn't supposed to extend to murdering others in cold blood. He never killed anyone. That even knows how to use that gun. You're trying to frame him. Mr. Williamson, if you have proof that the witness is innocent, then please show us now. I don't actually have any solid proof. Oh, the tables have turned. If he isn't, then give us some circumstantial evidence, please. Please, please. Please give it. Please give it. As before, it's impossible for him to be Galante. Are you actually going to bring up that he has an alibi for the past serial killing things? Why didn't you bring it up first time? Well, first off, is that actually what you're going to say? He made in Ravelli's penthouse that morning. But for every other time Galante killed somebody, he has an airtight alibi. So he's not it, so he's not Sir Galante, yet at the same time, doesn't prove he didn't kill Michael Ravelli's. Or was that? With me. It's all there in those files Wright and his friend snatched from the records room. What? Wow, it's definitely not. We didn't read those. I suppose you just happened to overlook that, didn't you? Every single time Ravelli's thug was murdered, Waters was at a police station, working to bring Galante down. We have very detailed records of the time he spent investigating. That doesn't clear him from the murder of Michael Ravelli's, though. He even admitted to being at the scene. This is one of Galante's murders, though. If Waters isn't Galante, then he didn't do it. I don't believe that it was ever proved beyond a doubt that Sir Galante committed this crime. Yeah, there's that. And if, like, at this point, this could be, if Mark Waters did kill Michael Ravelli's, you could literally just have it be, like, he'd set up as a frame job to be for Sir Galante, since they have intimate knowledge of, like, the modus operandi. You can just immediately set up to be that way. So, No, Your Honor, you're making a terrible mistake listening to that man. His identifying mark is yet to be found. Until then, everything else can be seen as circumstantial. Now there's nothing else, I would like for the jury to begin their deliberation. I hope you're happy, Wright? Just destroy the life of an innocent man. Hello? Yes, Miss Fay? The defense requests a third day to investigate. Huh? We do? Yes! But you've already won. That's not what matters. We put the wrong person away in the process, then it will all have been for nothing. Is that right, Nick? Right. Come on, Nick. Doesn't it seem strange to you how Mr. Waters never admitted to killing anyone? I mean, yeah, it goes against the grain. He claimed he was innocent right up until the very end. You're proved he stabbed Valet, it's just that he was in the room. There's even a tiny doubt he's innocent. We can't just send him off. In the face of overwhelming evidence. Is it true? If it is, so much evidence, but I can't make a mistake like that. Could Waters be innocent? At the same time, if he even is innocent, then he definitely covered up so much to show he wasn't there at the time, so there's that. Mr. Wright, as you are the defense's attorney, I will leave this decision up to you. Yes. I would like a final day to complete the investigation, to be sure. Mr. Williamson, I've waited 3 years for this case to end. Wait one more day. Will science seem rather adamant to prolong the trial? A third day will be granted. It certainly didn't end the way I expected it to. Was this really a mistake on my part? If it is, then there are two people that I need to prove innocent. If Mark Waters isn't Sir Galante, or like, you know, killed Micro Valets to cover it up. Well, that's definitely gonna raise heightened tensions. Okay, good. It's actually my health is all the way back up. Wheeze. Well, that was certainly a surprise. I know you were just trying to do the right thing, and you had this suspicion this whole time and didn't tell me either, so... There's that. I don't want to blame you, but at the same time, that's kind of Well, I might have almost just sent an innocent man off to the gallows. Well, here's the thing. It's an either-or situation. Just that it could be Mark Waters at the very beginning. At the same time, why would he lie about not having all this go off? The gun is a thing. There's too much evidence going towards him. And if it's not him, then exactly how are we supposed to prove it was someone else then? Because if oh, somehow Sir Galante was there the whole time and Mark Waters never saw him, then that's a very tight window. And the fact that how we're supposed to prove who else Sir Galante was if they're wearing a whole suit of armor, was a blackout going on, many different people were going in and out that building, and yet no one saw anyone else, so what? That's quite a thing. We're gonna make it all okay, right? Then we can be friends with Mr. Waters again. Somehow, I doubt if he even wants to be associated with me anymore. Yeah, that's also... Yeah, I don't think he wants to be friends at the same time. He definitely was hiding things. A lot of things. He definitely didn't make his case by his own, Williamson's own, quote, incompetence of, leaking information of a confidential serial killing, lying about bringing Gumshoe along, and just, actively hoping that Gumshoe would mention anything about him being there at the time of the crime, him being inside the room with fingerprints on a gun with the victims there, so it proves without a doubt that he was there and was a struggle with a gun. A gunshot was fired off by Cody Hackins actually witnessing it, and all of that. And if that isn't... And if whether or not this is Sir Galante's actually a big red herring or not, we just need to figure out there was an actual mark around. And I guess this actually does make sense why this case is actually way over longer though. For a second case, this is a 3-day trial. I don't remember if the other cases were this long too. Maybe, oh, that's the thing. Oh, that's the reason I'm forgetting it so quickly. I'm conflating the investigations of the day 2 trial and investigation with the day 3 investigation and trial. I conflate those two together. Oh, that makes sense. At the same time, that would be hell for pacing. Oh boy. So, oh boy. So we're going to the investigations to figure out if Waters actually did do the crime or not. We don't have any clear... Well, that's another thing, the jury system too, right here. There's, if there's, literally, there's so much evidence pointing towards Mark Waters, and the Turturro case, points it as, we never had any clear evidence of, literally, I'm just going back to use an example of a Toro case with Kylie Washington. I have to remember her name. I don't think she actually confessed that she actually did kill her manager until after the jury came out, unless I'm misremembering the details of that right. So literally after that, we had clear proof that it was her, yet it all matches to her, and she was the killer, and now the same thing's happening here. But if we're going the whole thing that Mark Waters definitely isn't the criminal, then that's a bit weird pacing and writing. It's definitely, it's like, that's the thing, it's definitely compelling to think about, and like the drama of it all and all that. It's really fun to think about. Having a fun time just thinking this through from the knowledge I have now, and even though I know whether or not Mark Waters is, the culprit or not, or if Sir Galante is a red herring or not, who knows. But that's literally all I'm going to be trying to hint at. Like, literally, I will try my best not to do that, and if I ever fail in doing that, then that's on me. That's on me. But we'll be going to the investigation for next time, and see if whether Mark's story of if he's innocent or not holds up. Holds up with any water. But we'll leave off here. So, for a fun time watch as I am playing this, hope to see you next time, the time may be, and I'll hope you have a fantastic day.